Hi, I'm Eric Guilleminault from NBA Draft Net, and I'm with Pacôme Dadiet, and we're going to ask some questions. He recently entered the draft and get to know him a little bit better. Pacôme, can we get a little start on your background in basketball? I know personally through other interviews that you've had that you started playing basketball in 2011. You were 5, 6 years old, and you started at Saint-Charles-Charenton, Saint-Maurice basketball, which is in the southeast of Paris. Some of your teammates included Tidiane Saran and Mohamed Diawara, two high-end prospects that also are entering the 2024 NBA draft. When you reflect on that period of time in terms of basketball, what comes to mind?
I think it was just fun. We're just having fun on the court. And
Nice.
I spent a lot of time with those guys. So I can say they're our childhood friends. So yeah, they're just good guys. I'm still talking to them to this day. So just I had great memories playing with them.
What position did you play back then when you were
I
young?
was playing the point guard position mostly.
Okay. You also have an older brother,
Yeah.
Maxence Dadiet, who is a basketball player, has played in the professional French league, played in FIBA for the Ivory Coast. Has he influenced your basketball journey? And if so, how so?
Yes, he influenced me a lot, of course, because when you have a big brother, is that's like your first favorite player. So I started when I was born. He was already playing basketball, so it was the first sports that came to my mind when I wanted to play any sport. So yes, he's still giving me a lot of advice, and I respect him, so I listen to him a lot. And so yes, he influenced me a lot.
Okay. Going a little further down the line, you play your first professional game on the 1st of October 2021 at 16 years of age. You're playing for Paris in the French Big League Elite League against JDA Dijon. How did that moment feel for you?
It felt great, but it was. I think I played. I remember that game. I played the last few moments of that game. It felt good, of course, but I think the game I remember the most was a French Cup game when I actually had some playing time because it was a second division team, and I was scoring my first points, and I remember like dunking on someone and stuff. So it was probably one of my best memories to this day.
One of your favorite memories. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
You've you've gone through some professional adversity already at a young age. The kind I kind of want to give it context to some of this NBA draft media audience that may not know you as a prospect for too long. It's 2022. Your basketball growth as a player and a prospect is building with your performance at the AGT in Petras, Greece. And then you head for the U17 World Cup playing for France. But then something happens. You suffer a minor injury on your thumb, in the second game versus Canada. You don't go back into the quarterfinals. You play well. You score in the quarterfinals. You score 12 points, but you can tell that it affects you a little bit, right? Like it doesn't. It's not exactly like had you not had the injury. And then that same summer, you decide to transfer to Ulm, which you are now at, but it turns into a more difficult transfer than anticipated. In fact, that last game where you won the bronze for France is the last game you'll play in 2022, which was in July. You don't play again for Ratio Farm until January of 2023. Take me back during that period of time where what did you do in those times where you didn't play any games basketball wise?
It was very frustrating, of course, because I had to wait and be very patient. It's not just like when you're injured. When you're injured, you can't play. But I could play. I just had to wait. So it was frustrating, but I couldn't control anything. So I just got in the gym. Honestly, I just worked. That's all I could do. I worked with Jimmy Rose a lot. I spent a lot of time with him, and I was still practicing with the team, even though I was not playing. So it was a great opportunity to still compare me to other players.
Nice, nice. And I'm sure that sort of adversity will help you out in the future and when you have adversity moments in your professional
Yes, yes.
experience.
It made me better, of course.
Okay, now let's take it to this season. This season where you had enormous more media, great, put yourself on the map for the 2024 NBA draft. And you have a great game the 29th of December against, and I'm going to missay this name because my German is terrible, Mitteldeutscher BC, scoring 17 points and getting 4 rebounds in 17 minutes. Then you play in Eurocup versus the French club Bourges, which I can pronounce better, on the 6th of February, 2024. And there's a lot of scouts. I'm sure there's a lot of scouts at all your games, but there's going to be a lot of scouts at this game because it's a Euro Cup game, and they're also there to see Zachary Risacher, which is also a big draft prospect in this 2024 draft. And you score 15 points, going 6 for 9 in 16 minutes. What did you get out of those performances?
It's two. I think it's the two best games of the season for me, but they're very different games for me. They were very different because in the first game against NBC, I really felt like every shot was going in, like every three, every two, like mid range, everything. So it was easier to play that game, I would say. And against Bull, it was it was a little difficult because I was not feeling as good as against NBC. So I had to find another way to score. I scored a lot of cuts, off ball cuts and stuff. So just grabbing rebounds, putting it back in and stuff like that. So they were two very different games, but it's my two best games of the season.
And statistically speaking, those seems like two of the best games that you had this season. Two up there. Let's go more for the draft people that are going to see this later on. For those who have never seen you play, how would you describe your game?
I would say I'm naturally a scorer, but I improved a lot on my defense this season. So I can say I can guard multiple positions from the point guard position to the foreman. And I can also create for others, play pick and roll, pass the ball. And yeah, I would say that's pretty much it.
And again, for the draft heads out there, do you know what your last measurements are in terms of height, wingspan, standing reach? If you don't, it's okay. But
I know I'm 6'9" right now, but I don't know my wingspan.
Most players don't, but us draft people are really like into that sort of stuff. We get into the nerd stuff. When you watch film of yourself, what are you looking for?
When I watch film, I mostly watch defensive clips. So I try to pay attention to details, when I'm not guarding the ball. And my assistant coach, Tyrone McCoy, he's given me a lot of, little details defensively on how I can get my job easier. So yeah, I would say mostly defensive clips.
Is there a player or players who you watch and try to take some of their moves and implement them to your game?
Yes, I watch Paul George a lot. I watch DeMar DeRozan for his mid-range game, just how he gets to his shot and stuff. I feel like he's one of the best on this area, so I try to watch him as much as possible. And I watch T-Mac, so Brandon Ingram, just because he's tall, so he's a guard. Yeah.
Okay. I've watched some film of you, obviously, before this interview, and you have a move that not a lot of players have. You have a move where you're dribbling down, going to the free throw line extended to get your shot. If you can't make it all the way to the rack, you stop, and if you can't immediately take the mid-range shot, you reverse pivot, kind of use your body to shield off the opponent and use some footwork to either get a leaner floater or a leaner shot. Is that a move you have always had like growing up, or is that something you've really worked on?
I think I always had it, but I started really working on it a year and a half, 2 years ago, because people were telling me that I was tall. So when I extend my shot, like when I go up on my shot and I extend my arms, it's really hard to block that shot, even like, especially when I add a little bump before my shot and I turn around, it creates even more space. So not a lot of players can block that shot. So I just try to work on it as much as possible.
For you've been sort of playing a hybrid forward, playing the 3 and 4. At the NBA level, where do you see yourself playing positionally to start out your career?
Yeah, so I played before because of injuries, but I see myself as a 3 in the shooting guard. So,
Okay.
I'm coming from the point guard position. So for me, naturally, I'm more comfortable on the 3 and shooting guard position.
Oh, like you said earlier, being able to play multiple positions, always a great asset to have on a team. What are some of the things you hope to continue to develop by October 2024?
So I hope to develop more in my on the defensive end, mostly and just being more aggressive to the rim. I feel like I can do a better job on that and have the athletic abilities to be better.
The season ends May 9th, but congratulations, you're in the playoffs, right? So you're playing, and that goes from May 17th all the way to June 17th. The NBA Combine is May 13th and 19th, and the draft is June 26th and 27th. How do you stay steady with the task at hand with your club and know that the NBA workouts are right around the corner for you?
I'm just practicing with the team. I'm still focused on practicing with the team and being better as a group. But I also work with Jimmy Rose, and I will do my pre-draft workouts with Adam Harrington. So he's in contact with Jimmy Rose, and we're just working on getting ready for the NBA workouts.
What would playing in the NBA mean to you?
It would be amazing just because I started playing basketball at a young age, so I watched a lot of NBA. My family too. So it's not only my dream, it's my family dream too. My dad played a little bit, my brother too. Nobody went to the NBA, unfortunately. So I would be the first one. It would be amazing, not just for me, but for everybody in my family.
Okay, now some more fun questions, okay? Not including yourself or any other draft eligible guy this year. Who's your starting 5 for the 2024 men's French Olympic basketball team?
I would say Elia Kobo first, Sylvain Francisco, Bilal Koulibaly, Wemby at the 4, and Rudy at the 5 position.
Do you win the gold?
Yes.
Okay. I also saw in some of your interviews that you like making hip hop beats in your free time.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite producer and what's your most played song in April?
I haven't done any beats in a while, but I just love music in general. So I don't know if I have a favorite producer, but I have a favorite artist. Maybe yeah.
Okay, who's your favorite
I would
artist?
say Young Thug is my favorite artist. Yeah, he's my favorite artist for sure.
And let's say for the French audience, favorite French artist?
I have a lot of them.
Okay.
Maybe Nino. Nino, yes, special.
Pacôme, thank you for your time. Really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
your time and have a great end of season, and
Thank
looking
you.
forward to hearing your name in
I hope so, yeah.
June.
Thanks for having me.